All right. Somebody put their foot in their mouth and finally explains what really happened with Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and what this means about Gervonta Davis and offers being made to get these fights done. Oops, you said a little too much. Bill Haney. On the Boxing Voice, shout out to the Boxing Voice. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to, I should title this Anatomy of Framing Someone for a Duck. Because that's exactly what we witness on a regular basis in the sport of boxing now. The number one culprit of that is Devin Haney's camp, who on several occasions have made business moves that make it seem as if another fighter is avoiding them, turning down fights, and that's the reason that fights are not happening, when in reality, they didn't have much of an intention to get the fight done at all. Case in point, two cases in point, one of which just got accidentally admitted to by Bill Haney, involved Shakur Stevenson for the WBC mandatory title shot at the 135-pound championship. The other relates to a multi-million-dollar offer that was declined by Gervonta Davis. Now, before I get into the details of it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter, thank you guys so much. All right, look, I know there's a lot of people that think I do not like Devin Haney because I make videos like that. That is not true. I do not like, however, having to talk to people on live streams, on videos about topics related to boxing, and constantly have things brought to me and people make arguments about things that are just not true. Because it's fun to have debates about boxing and what we want to see and what we don't want to see and who did what and who did this and who shot John and who loved Mary. But when you just make stuff up and start framing people for things just to make them look bad, it really sullies the conversation. And we've had to coin a term called framing people for ducks. So one of the ducks, and we're going to talk about a duck that just got exposed, a framing for a duck, a conspiracy to frame somebody for a duck, planning false evidence for a duck, has now been exposed by the person that seemingly exposed by the person that planted it. In Bill Haney, who was on the Boxing Voice and gave a hypothetical about when he was shopping fights, that if Devin and somebody else were behind the scenes, speaking of Shakur Stevenson, and they speak behind the scenes and they say they want to fight to each other, that they themselves can agree about what they want in a fight. Devin says, I want X amount of money, or Shakur says he wants X amount of money. Devin says, no, I want to pay you a percentage. It is then my job to take that and then go shop and go find out what I can get. Big problem with that. If you're telling me that you got to the 25% by talking to Devin and saying, hey, Devin, hey, Shakur, you get 25%. And then they were going to then take that and shop it to somebody else. That's not an offer for a fight. It's not an offer for a fight because there's no guarantee that you can get that percentage for them. And plus, you don't know what it's 25% of. So that makes it look like there was no real 25% offer, just like Bob Arum said. When Bob Arum said there was no contract, they were not serious about fighting. That sounds like you are just trying to get an idea and having a casual conversation with somebody, and you threw the idea of 25% out there. And Shakur Stevenson is not willing to take that. But that's far shot from saying that Bob Arum, who's the person that's paying for the fight, offered 25% to Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson said no to an offer that was made by the person that was paying for the fight. Kind of funny. Does not quite match up with what everybody said about, hey, man, you should have taken that 25%. What 25% of what if Bill still has to go find the money? There's not 25% of anything to accept. That aside from the obvious fact that a purse bid, Shakur Stevenson would have got 30%. Also, there is another scenario that this reminds me of that I definitely checked the tape 3 times on. When Bill Haney said that Gervonta Davis had turned down $20 million, a $20 million offer, that he declined a $20 million offer, only to have Eddie Hearn say that they never made the offer to Gervonta Davis. That yes, Bill Haney knew that they wanted to offer money, and Eddie Hearn may have even wanted to offer even more money than what Bill Haney said. Still, Eddie Hearn said that when he tried to contact Gervonta Davis, which, by the way, was after Bill said that Gervonta Davis wouldn't talk to him. So if you couldn't talk to him, then how could he decline an offer? He didn't decline it. Number one, he didn't talk to him until after Bill said it. And number two, he didn't decline it. He just didn't tell. He told you, no, I don't want to talk to you. That's not declining a conversation, not declining an offer. But hey, if you muddy both those situations, you do what? You make a good, convincing argument for people that want to believe it, that both Shakur ducked a fight with Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis ducked a fight with Devin Haney, even though in both scenarios, the money was not truly offered to them. Again, because if you are looking for 25% and saying, hey, 25%, but you don't have the money, you got to then go shop it. You got to go find somebody else to give you the money to do it, whether it is Golden Boy, whether it's ESPN, or whether it is Matchroom or Golden Boy. Still, that is not a firm offer. At the most, that's a contingency. That's an offer for a contingency. If I find this money, then I will pay you that. It's contingent upon you getting the money. The other one is definitely not an offer because you never even talked to the guy. But again, what is all of this stuff about? It's about keeping the conversation in the public space and having the appearance that they are the ones that are really trying to go and get everything done. They're the ones constantly working on fights because they're constantly telling you about the fights that they're working on and telling you how it's the other guy's fault that the fight didn't take place. Even to the point where a guy like Subriel Matias is said to have asked for $4 million and in a conversation through his manager, Peter Kahn, as we wind up finding doesn't even represent Subriel Matias. Again, framing people for a duck, it is constant and it is just muddying the water on fighters' careers, creating a lot of conversation, but still, can't wait till it stops. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.